Welcome back to the video, guys. I was about to get the motor out and about to pop it in the car, but I realised I've got a few little extra things to do to my intake manifold before I go ahead. First one is I've got to make a new block-up plate for this side piece over here. I've also got to port out the intake for the Weber plate, and I've got to make a gasket for the bottom of that plate. Now the Weber's going on at the moment, and that's not going to be the final solution for this engine. I'm more than likely going to be going on Holy Sniper, but it's not going to be for about another year. So the Weber's going on for the meantime. So we'll get this all suited up and we'll make these bits and pieces. This gasket cut, cover, so good, so happy with that. All right, I'll get on to the gasket for this one here. All right, gasket done. She goes. All right, last thing I'll do, pull this out, let's open it up. All right, she's all ported out. All right. Going to get the flywheel, which I've had balanced, and a clutch on the back of this. Now we'll get the gearbox on. Alright, pretty pumped today. Gonna get the engine into the crawler, but I've got to move Sigma. Let's go. Alright, there we go, engine is in. There's one job that I need to tackle because it's been raining for the past 1.5 years. I need to spray the boot. Its seam sealer was all melted, so I've re-seam sealed, just given it a quick sand, continued a few rust repairs, and yeah, give it a respray. All right, all taped off. We'll mix some paint. All right. That's 3 coats of base coat. Now hit the clear. There you go. 3 coats of clear. Turned out okay. Looked 10 times better than it did. Alright, got most of the boot back together. We're going to install battery in the rear. Got an Optima battery, got a beautiful billet battery tray. We're going to mount it down to the boot. Hopefully I can do it with nut certs. If not, I might have to bolt it. So we'll just see how it goes. Alright, that's in. There's a bit of trouble with the angle on these nut certs, but they tighten up pretty good. It's very, very solid, actually, much more solid than I thought. So, get this battery on. Really solid, really happy with that. It's great. Alright, that's it for the boot. I'm just going to tidy up some bits and pieces. I've got to fix up some wiring under here, and now we can get back to the engine. Got to get the radiator in before we start plumbing up any oil lines and cooler plumbing and that sort of stuff. So I had a eBay radiator which I was going to use, but it was a 4-quart, it's pretty thick. I'll show you. This was the eBay radiator with thermo fan. I mean, it was okay, but it's really, really thick. I probably didn't need 4 cores. And I really wanted to go with black accessories in the engine bay. So I went out and brought a Phoenix radiator. It does come with a thermo fan, but it's in powder coating. The brackets are in powder coating, so it's not here yet. And when they sent it out, they sent me this unit with the incorrect bracket on this side, which they're going to send back out. The guys at Phoenix are really quick to deliver it, really good to communicate with, so pretty happy I got from them. It's a much better quality radiator, and I actually want to mount in the car a little bit lower than the factory, so we'll drill this bracket out. We can temporarily drill this until they send us a new bracket, get it in, and we can start messing around with all the radiator plumbing. Alright, that's fine, I'll fit up. Look straight. Haven't done that bottom bolt up yet. It's good. So I need to run water line from here to here, water line from here to here. I've got to put the alternator on first, make sure there's no clashes with anything, and then we can finish plumbing up the water lines. Alright, here's the alternator off the 7K. I'm going to go with the 7K alternator over the 4K. It is a little bit more smaller, probably a little bit more modern. I don't know, probably more powerful, which makes sense if I go EFI in the future. So we're going to give it a bit of a clean, try and pull it down, see if I can get all this stuff cleaned up and tidied up, and put on the car. Alright, we've got these parts cleaned out as best as we could. Used some brake cleaner to get most of the dirt off the outside and some alcohol to clean the inside, and all these little electrical parts which go on the alternator. So I want to really coat this so it looks nice and neat. So I'm going to recoat a paint. I don't know about the fins, I might just leave the fins out. I'll give them a quick spray and then we can bolt it back together. Alright, these are already sprayed. Time to work out how they go back together.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
So we might have a problem. Where I put train, it's pretty close to the alternator. Maybe I should have put it more towards the front and it came around the alternator. The problem is that because this gravity feeds down, it might soak up here. So it might be okay. I don't know. So we're going to give it a go. Hopefully it's not going to go blow back in a turbo, but fingers crossed. This will do the job. And lastly, I've got to clock the oil drain so it faces all the way down so gravity feeds it. So I've got to pull the turbo off and get the front housing off and clock that down, and that oil line will just run straight down and into there. Maybe like that.
It sound right, boys.
This fuse box is in the battery. Now the battery's in the boot. We want to mount this to the sidewall out of the way. So I've made a little bracket, going to bolt it on, give it a coat of paint, away we go. That's a bit of a problem. I remember it was tight when I had the 4 key in there, but that's pretty tight, so I might have to find a different radiator hose to sort that out, but I'll play around with it.
It sound right, boys.
Alright, that cut's made a good deal. We've got clearance from this side, clearance on the belt, and I'll put some heat wrap around that, so that one's good. It looks like top radiator hose is too short. I was going to run this inline filter to capture shit going back into the engine from the radiator, just in case something happened, but it's a little big on the outside diameter, so I might be able to get a radiator hose that will fit or reduce, and maybe add that here. That will solve the problem with the length, or I can just get a longer radiator hose. So head off to the shops and we'll see if we can find something that fits in there. Alright, next we've got to mount the fuel reg. I'm going to mount it up, probably tucked away somewhere over here. Alright, that looks nice and neat. Done. Right, just ran the accelerator cable through. Going to recycle this old bracket, it's a little rusty, but we'll spray it up. Going to cut it down, drill some holes in it, and that will be the bracket for the accelerator cable.
It sound right, boy.
Right, next challenge I've got is, since I've clocked the turbo, the wastegate can't go into position of where it used to be. So I need to make a new bracket to fit the wastegate. We'll see if it can fit in this position. Alright, I think I found the solution for the wastegate. So instead of being on this side where I thought it was, on top of the turbo, I'm just going to sneak it under here. Looks like we can probably extend this bracket down here. We can probably get the right angle that we need. We should have the right leverage that we need. Just need to extend this reference pipe for the wastegate. So I'm going to drill this out, see if I can extend it with some steel. Yeah, we'll see if that gives us a good leverage point. Alright, there's a bracket. She ain't the prettiest, but should do the job. Pretty good. Give it a coat of paint and we'll bolt her up. That's on, let's test it out. Alright, there we go. Just got to extend this reference pipe to go around into there. That's done. Right, I'm back to this filter that goes after the radiator, catch any stuff that goes in the engine. I've got an off cut. I'm going to see if I can heat it up and stretch it over. It's probably a bit of a stretch, but it's worth a shot before I buy a new hose. There we go, stretched on. Have I put too much stress on this hose? I don't know. I'll let you know in the next episode when Vinny blows up his engine. I'll go get the other hose and try and do the other side. Alright, almost got the other side on. I'm not going to let you watch me struggle for the next half an hour trying to get this thing on, but it looks like it's going to work, so I'm pretty happy with that. Just got to get this one further a bit more down and then we're good to go. I've got my turbo sprayed black, the air filter on there, looks nice. Now I've got to work out some water lines. So I've got water line to the turbo. There was a sensor on the housing over here, which I'm going to use to put this water line in. And I think I'm going to route the other water housing back to this heater hose coming out of the turbo coming up. after a bit of a break. Haven't worked on the car for probably at least a month. Started a new job. It's been raining. It's been like bananas. So anyway, back on it today. Gonna make the dump pipe. Gonna run down from the turbo down to the original exhaust. Let's go. Alright, I got the first part of the dump pipe tacked in. Got a massive gap on this side, but I'll fill that thing up. That's it. Let's finish off the rest of it. Alright, I've been welding the dump pipe. It's not the best, but we've got some reasonable welds. Then you've got this stuff here and this stuff here, and it gets worse here. I've totally buckled the V-band. I've buckled the clamp on this side. So I've just buckled this whole thing. I probably should have had everything clamped down as I was welding it. So I'm probably going to do this again because I'm just not happy with it. So I'll order some new parts and I'm going to redo this. I'll keep this as a backup. I can bodge it to kind of get it working if I need it. But yeah, I think I'm going to start again. A week later, I've got some more exhaust parts. I've gone with a more simplified design for this one here. Let's hope I don't warp anything. Alright, I've managed to warp the V-band again. I've got another one from eBay. It's not the best quality, but it's what I've got. So I think I am going to cut down here, put this new V-band on over here, and yeah, I might even just try and MIG the V-band because I think the MIG is probably putting less heat into it, so it won't warp. Don't know. I'll give it a go, see if I can do it right this time. Alright, looks like it's done. Looks like I haven't warped the V-band, so that's a plus. I've just got to put a bung on for the air fuel, and this is good to go. Right, bit of an update for you guys. So I've put in a buzz bar at the front to connect all the power, all the starter motor power, the alternator power. I've ran some new fuel lines over here. They've been run under the car. We're going to finish some wiring and hopefully we'll get close to starting the car. Right, got some heat wrap on these cables. It's going to be right under the turbo manifold. And I've also put in some heat protection wrap on top of the starter motor, which is really close. I'll probably put a bit of heat protection over here as well. And that will protect all this stuff. I've got a bit of exhaust wrap. Gonna wrap the top half of the dump pipe. Turbo housing is pretty close to the sidewall here, so I'm gonna put on some foil tape on the side, hopefully stop the paint from burning. Dump pipe is on. Now I'm going to make some separators, sort of like this plastic thing to separate this heater hose and fuel hose. Thought I might just 3D print them, see how they fit. Maybe we can CNC them out of some aluminium or something like that. Alright, these little hose separators, just 3D printed for the moment. I'll probably make them out of something else a little bit stronger, a bit more heat resistant. Next, I'm going to get on to rebuilding this carburetor. I had the carburetor from the Corolla on the Sigma, and I noticed it had the same flat spot that it did when it was on the Corolla. So I've got another old bottom end of Weber, which I'm going to rebuild and pop that back on. Alright, that's all rebuilt now. I've used the new bottom end, and I've taken all the best bits off the old one that I rebuilt a while ago, pop it on this new one. All looks good, all looks clean. Hopefully the jets are good. We need to make a new plenum for this likely. Yeah, so we'll get that on the car next. Alright, I've got the fuel line plumbed, got a fuel pressure gauge, I've got all the hose separators, everything's connected up on a turbo, oil lines, fuel lines, got an oil pressure sensor which will go to my gauge in the car. I think I just need to run power to the powering block now and make sure the car doesn't go on fire. I reckon we can crank the car and see if we get oil pressure. I ran the oil pressure sensor wire and the wire for the water temperature, which comes along to there and into here. I think it's time to hook up the battery. I don't know why I'm nervous, but let's connect it up and see if anything explodes. All right. No shorting. We've got power. Got time. Don't have reds. So you don't have starter. But at least I've got lights. And oil pressure does something, which is good. Oh, let's go on. So if I hit the alarm, alarm off. Still no reds. Oh, I've lost power. Oh, no. Alright, let's make sure nothing else is shorting. Looks good. Alright, get some oil in it and try and work out the starter motor. Alright, starter motor wasn't going, but I just made a little bit of a relay to boost up the power from the Corolla. I remember back when I had the 4K, starter motor wouldn't go unless I had a relay, so let's see if that goes. Alright, give us oil pressure. Don't think we've got enough juice. Damn. Just taking out the spark plugs. When I was starting, it sounded like it had heaps of compression. So just taking out the spark plug, see if it loosens it up from the compression side just to get that oil going. Definitely moving a lot better. But I don't think it's going to build up oil pressure without the spark plugs tied in. At least the engine's moving. That's the update, guys. Unfortunately, I didn't get to the first start. I've got some ignition issues. I think I've sorted out this compression thing. I think my starter motor's just a little weak. Yeah, hopefully I'll have first start soon. I've got some ignition parts that I've ordered on the way, and I'm really close to getting this thing first start. So next video, definitely a first start.